I've been wanting to get this film out of the way. Ever since I reviewed the Twilight saga a few years back, I've been wanting to get this one out of the way. I've been wanting to do it for April Fool's Month or for Spectacular October. Given the fact it's not really a horror movie, but it has vampires in it, and it's from two Jokers you probably know of, but I'm not saying their names yet. Is this another bad flick from them? Well, in a way, yes, it is. So I'm not going to be able to defend this film much. So here it is. This is my review of Vampires Suck. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2010 parody flick Vampires Suck, released by Fox for Regency Enterprises and directed and written by the undynamic duo of Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, the guys who gave us Date Movie, Epic Movie, Meet the Spartans, and Disaster Movie. The film stars Jenna Proske, Matt Lanter, Christopher M. Riggi, Ken Jeong, Anneliese Vanderpool, and Arielle Kebbel. Oh yeah, and don't forget Diedrich. Excuse me. The film is a parody of the Twilight saga, mainly the original film and the follow-up, New Moon. Like the previous films from these two, this film was panned for its humor and plot, but it still was a modest success in a way. So it's okay to talk about the film. Edward Sullen strips off his clothes during the Saint Salvatore festival while Becca Crane rushes to stop him, which we start with that. While running through a fountain, she accidentally splashes water around, causing people to party in the fountain and thus stopping her. In a flashback, Becca moves to the Pacific Northwestern town of Sporks to live with her clueless father, Sheriff Frank, after her mother starts an affair with Tiger Woods. Meanwhile, a killing spree is attributed to the Canadians, but the real perpetrators are a group of vampires usually mistaken for the Black Eyed Peas. Becca quickly befriends many of the students at her new high school, including Jennifer. She's also intrigued by the mysterious and aloof Edward, whose odd behavior perplexes her during their biology class. Later, when Becca is nearly struck by a van in the school parking lot, Edward stops the vehicle by thrusting another student in the van's way. Becca later dreams Edward was in her room. In truth, he is, but is repulsed by things she does while sleeping. After much research and thought, Becca confronts Edward and tells him she thinks that he is one of the Jonas brothers. Edward corrects her, saying he is a vampire, but that he only consumes animal blood. Despite the danger of being around a vampire, Becca agrees to go to prom with him. Later, Becca and Edward kiss passionately in a room, and Becca attempts to seduce Edward into having sex, but he abstains. Yeah. On Becca's birthday, Edward introduces her to his vampire family. While unwrapping a gift, Becca gets a paper cut while and Edward's brother Jeremiah attempts to buy her but is knocked away. To keep his family away from Becca, Edward distracts them and takes her out to the woods. He then proceeds to break up with her, who throws a tantrum after he leaves. Much to her expectance, Becca is attacked by three nomadic vampires, but Edward intervenes and saves her. Edward's departure leaves Becca heartbroken for months, but she is comforted by her deepening friendship with her childhood friend Jacob White. When Becca is accosted in the woods by the nomadic vampires again, Jacob transforms into a chihuahua as his werewolf pack arrives to save her. Meanwhile, Edward has moved to Rio and is now dating Lady Gaga to get over losing Becca. He is later informed by his sister Iris, via her gift of prophecy, that Becca killed herself. Edward becomes depressed and decides to provoke the Zolturi, a powerful and narcissistic vampire coven into killing him by exposing himself in the sunlight in front of humans, thus exposing the existence of vampires. Iris has another vision of Becca's survival as he leaves, but she is unable to warn him. Now I'm going to go to the ending, so I warn you, you need to stop this video right away. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below, alright? Alright, as I now count down, if you have seen this movie, which I doubt a lot of you have, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Iris arrives at Becca's house and tells her that she has to save Edward by showing him that she's still alive. To Becca's shock, the Zolturi are currently partying at the prom due to the Saint Salvatore theme. Jacob appears and demands that Becca choose between him and Edward, but just before she announces her decision, he's distracted by a cat and runs off to chase it. Upon arriving at the prom, Becca is caught between the wearing factions of Edward fangirls and Jacob fangirls. She is unable to reach Edward before he exposes himself figuratively and literally. However, twilight occurs, followed by a new moon and an eclipse, blah blah blah. Sorry. Concealing Edward's vampiric nature as Becca gets him to safety. Frank arrives to check on Becca, making her hopeful. However, he thinks supernatural creatures are the prom theme and leaves. After a fight between him and the Zolturi leader, Darrow, Edward is forced to turn to Becca into a vamp and turn to a vampire at risk of being killed horribly. He agrees to do so only on the condition that she marry him, which she accepts. And that's the end of the story. But however, in the mid-credit scene, Edward is struck on the head by the leader of Jacob's fangirls. Edward survives the blow, and the girl is attacked by the newly vampirized Becca as the movie concludes. End of story for realsies. So, what did I think of Vampire Suck? Well, it's not that great of a film. Well, at least I liked it more than the than Friedberg and Seltzer's previous film, which was a disaster movie, which that tanked big time, which got released with Lionsgate. This brought them back with Fox and Regency after Meet the Spartans. Well, I'm gonna say, well, the story isn't too great. Some of the humor was okay and what have you, but not enough to save this film. The film was now I forgot to mention the film was released on August 18th, 2010, which means I'm early for its anniversary, which won't be for like over a half a year. So I just wanted to get this film out of the way because considering it's bad movies and what I usually like to do bad movies on in January or in April for April Fool's month. I decided to hell with it, get it out of the way. This film got this hard, 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. See, witlessly broad and utterly devoid of laughs, the film represents a slight step forward for the Friedberg Seltzer team. Well, that's true. Metacritic has a score of 18, the worst score for a wide release in 2010, and audiences polled by Cinema Score gave it a C+. And I really don't really want to talk about this and what have you. Well, despite it got dissed and what have you. However, John Proske's mimicry performance based on Kristen Stewart received some praise. The Tampa Bay Times stated one thing that the movie rose to perfection is Kristen Stewart's overly pensive Bella, a newcomer named Jenna Proske, who has the mumbling, hair twisting, lip biting, ticks down pat, and her expressions of repressed sexuality are almost as funny as Stewart's. Entertainment Weekly said the exception is Prost, who spoofs Twilight star Kristen Stewart's flustered, hair-tugging angst with hilarious precision. I absolutely do agree. I think this is the one thing that saves this film. That's probably one of the only reasons why I like this a little, but not 110%. I don't hate this movie. I like it just a little just because of Jenna Prost, who let me tell you was a hot one. Anyway, But this film still didn't do so hot and what have you, though. Still, the film did okay and went on to make 81 million against its worldwide against its $20 million budget. So it was a modest hit. Now, even though Friedberg and Seltzer was going to plan to do an Avatar spoof next, but that didn't happen. So I'd say Fox and or Regency released them and what have you. And so they went on to do some well, their next parody that did have a little bit of Avatar in the Starving Games, which would be released by an independent company called Catch Up Entertainment. But I'll talk about that in the next vid. Anywho, Christopher Leonard's does the score, and it's fine, and what have you. Now, Friedberg and Seltzer also contributed some songs that they co-wrote with others as well. Yeah, can you believe that? But they weren't too hot. Well, a few were fine, what have you, though. Now, for our cast, we have Jenn Proske in the role of Becca. Now, she's really good, especially in the seduction scene. Once she just really tries to give him big time with this hot little, well, it's hard to explain. Matt Lanter plays Edward. He's okay. Christopher and Riggi plays Jacob. He's okay too. Ken Jeong, at least he proves to have a little bit of humor as Darrow. But even after he did the Hangover, just didn't manage to pull it off. Diedrich Bader played Sheriff Frank, and yeah, he was okay and what have you. Arielle Kebbel played Rachel. Actually, she actually had appeared was actually one of the stars on the Vampire Diaries, which that was actually referenced in the film as a matter of fact. Yeah, let's see. But we did have others: B.J. Britt, Charlie Weber, Krista Flanagan. But to my surprise, we also had David DeLuise, who of course was, well, managed to do pretty fair in playing a fisherman named Scully. As he's trying to do well, he managed to pull off a decent performance in his dad, the late great Dom DeLuise's footsteps. And of course, Dom had appeared in Mel Brooks' parody flicks, so you're not too bad. But what really surprised me was seeing the character Jennifer being played by Anneliese Vanderpool, who recently played Chelsea on That's So Raven. Yes. And of course, more recently, she played the character on its spin off Raven's House. So that was. So she was fine. She's a little nutsoid at times, but overall, she's pretty funny and what have you, though. That's the only other thing I kind of liked about this. But does Vampire suck? Yes, it does. From my point of view. But I don't really think it's extremely bad. At least I thought this was better than the Disaster movie. But would I recommend Vampire Suck? No. Mm. Avoid this at all costs unless you really like. If you have seen this and you liked it only for Jenna Prosk, well, then you could stick with it if you want. But if not, then simply avoid this at all costs. So, what did you think of Vampires Suck? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell your friends about my channel. Give them to know me. Maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. And share my vids with your friends if you wish. Join me next time when I bring to you the undynamic duo of Friedberg and Seltzer's next film, The Starving Games. So if you like this, check out my reviews of the first two installments of Twilight. The upper right hand, left hand corner, excuse me, I got a little sidetracked. The upper left hand corner is my review of the first film, Twilight. The upper right hand corner is my review of New Moon, Twilight was from 2008. New Moon was from 2009. Or if you want another film from this undynamic duo Freeberg and Seltzer, check out my review of Epic Movie from 2007, the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.